Getting a grip on anger. Hi, welcome back to another video devotional blog here at Regal Heights Church. Today I want to talk to you about anger and how we can deal with it properly. The first thing important that is to note is that it's taught extensively in the Bible. It is taught extensively where we learn that anger does not bring about the righteous life that God requires. God does not want our anger to go past sunset. In fact, our anger is supposed to be not even justified in our sight, but only in God's sight. Sometimes we feel that we are righteous in our anger and that we can then lash out at somebody else, but the answer is no. We are not supposed to rage. We are not supposed to be marked as people by anger, but yet we're not supposed to be free from anger. Anger does exist for a very good reason. And this is what I want to give a quick devotional on here today to help you to have power in controlling your anger and actually propelling you into right action. Because that is in fact what anger is supposed to do. It is a God-given emotion. He gave us all of our emotions. We can easily let our emotions get the best of us, but if we take disciplined measures, we can make sure that our emotions serve the mission of Christ, and then not that our emotions control us and spiral us down. Rarely ever, if anger carries into a long period of time, does it produce good results in our life. But what anger is supposed to do is to heighten our sense of justice and to propel us, to give us the energy and the motivation to fix an injustice in this world. The problem is most of our anger is tied to our pride. We're not supposed to have pride. We're supposed to be dead to ourselves and alive to Christ. So that when people mistreat us or talk bad of us, that should not elicit anger in us, because it shouldn't elicit pride. Anger follows that because we perceive it's an injustice against us. This is why we need to look the other way when it comes to our own ego. But yet when we see that justice is being denied someone who needs it, it is not supposed to make us rage against those who are doing it to them, but it's supposed to make us to be bold and to be powerful in stopping that from happening ever again. Another perspective on getting our anger in check is this, Jesus doesn't even want us to think bad of somebody else. When he talked about murder, he said, hey, you've heard not to murder, and it's pretty much understood by anybody on the planet. He says, but you know what? If you call somebody a fool, if you hate somebody in your heart, if you're that angry with somebody, then you've really committed murder in heart, although not in the physical reality. That is important for us to realize, that he doesn't want us to hate anybody that much. Think about this. While Jesus was being executed by people, he was praying over them. And he was saying, God, forgive them, for they know not what they do. This was emulated in the first martyr of the New Testament. A young man named Stephen was being executed for his faith. They were throwing rocks at him until he died. And he did not lash out at them, even though they were doing something very wrong. But he just simply said, God, forgive them, because they know not what they do. So anger is supposed to give us the motivation to make sure that justice is done, but that our ego is settled. When we see somebody else being mistreated, that does not mean we go and hate the one who is doing it, but realizing that they are lost and that we should be concerned about them, and that our anger should make I need to make sure that this person gets the right teaching, because they are oppressing somebody else. They need to be set free. So I'm going to pray for them, and I am going to use this anger that I have to make sure that I get lovingly in their life to help them make these corrections. I hope that gives you a proper perspective on anger, and I hope that in the days ahead that you'll be able to employ that so that you can live a victorious life and not be controlled by anger anymore, but that you control anger for Christ's purposes. Thank you, and have a blessed week.